A warm welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Friday, June 4th. New measures are enforced to protect the island's coral reefs. Word of this from Maritime Affairs and Blue Economy Minister Kurt Humphrey at a news conference today against the backdrop of a recent report from the Center for Resources Management and Environmental Studies, CERMES, which reported massive damage to the island's coral reefs resulting from cruise ships being allowed to dock here during the COVID crisis between March and September last year.
Cruise ships will no longer be permitted to anchor on the west coast. The reason that we made that determination is because we want to protect the coral reef and the very sensitive marine ecosystem in that space. So cruise ships will no longer be allowed to anchor there. We made that decision. We'd hoped that we'd given ourselves enough space that even with the movement of the ship that we'd have less damage to the coral. Allegedly that is not so. So just to be on the safe side, there will be no anchoring of cruise ships on the west coast. And in relation to Carlisle Bay, as I said before, Carlisle Bay has been a traditional anchor spot for years. We anchor large cargo vessels there for a number of years. And so we said that we may be able to do that for cruise vessels, but in circumstances where we have had conversation on an individual basis, a one-on-one case basis, and obviously there would have to be exceptional circumstances.
Meanwhile, authorities will soon be talking to fisherfolk about upcoming changes for preserving the fishing industry and coral reefs, including banning the use of seine nets to catch reef fish. Acting Chief Fisheries Officer Joy Lashley announced during the press conference today that Barbados' fisheries sector must do what is necessary to ensure the sustainability of the industry.
We have instituted a recommendation to ban or prohibit the use of seine nets for the catching of reef fish. We are looking to improve other measures. We have other gear restrictions in mind. For example, we are going to restrict the size mesh for the flying fish gill net, because what has been creeping in is that smaller mesh sizes are being used locally. We're also looking at the banning of in terms of a particular species of marine mammals, we are not going to allow, or we're going to publish the fact that we will prohibit any capture or harming of marine mammals in our marine environment, in our EEZ. This will also facilitate, luckily we do not have a fishery for marine mammals such as porpoises or whales, but what will it also do, it will enhance our export markets to ensure that we are also complying with our export market in terms of what measures they put in place.
Prime Minister Mia Mottley is once again calling on the island's youth to play a role in addressing the challenges that will impact their future. Delivering the feature address at the virtual launch of the Lashley Foundation's Healthy and Environmentally Friendly Youth, HEY, Motley said if the youth sit back and do nothing to fight issues such as climate change, then they will live in a world that will continue to deteriorate.
The quality of life we're able to live in that tomorrow can be influenced for the better by the way we behave today. We may not be able to change the past. And I always say I don't have eyes in the back of my head. But I know that we certainly can, by our actions today, determine what quality of life you and others will live in the future. Will it be a world characterized by increasingly catastrophic storms and floods, or droughts and famines, sargassum weed or melting ice caps, rising sea levels, destroyed coral reefs? Or will it be a world overrun by chronic illnesses, new diseases and debilitating pandemics, inequitable access to food and essential medicines, shortage of water, or even a greater divide between rich and poor nations or poor people? Your consciousness of, your activism on these issues can only lead to improved awareness and engagement by the millions of other young people whom you have the potential to reach through HEY.
The HEY campaign, funded by Miss Barbados World 2018 Ashley Lashley, is a Caribbean-initiated campaign on climate change and health, which seeks to build bridges between the youth in the Caribbean and the wider global community. Lashley said there's need for bolder climate action and climate justice.
We want to make a difference. We want to be the agents of change. Climate change continues to affect each and every one of us. We want real change. No more talking, but more action being taken. We are not prepared to sit back and allow these issues to be placed on the back burner of government lists of priorities. As youth, we are prepared to take proactive measures to avert a global environmental and health catastrophe.
Barbados' newest centenarian, Ayola Ayanti Ermitude Henry, had a grand day with family and friends and a special Zoom session with Governor General Dame Sandra Mason on her big day today. Ayanti, a resident of St. John, is a mother of 4, has 12 grandchildren and 17 great-grands. Proud family members told Barbados Today Henry was a hard worker and a disciplinarian. Though she is not as physically active as before, Ayanti remains aware and is a strong believer in God.
God-fearing woman, everything is about God. You see about something like, God, don't just relax, God on the throne still.
Yeah, and pray. I pray. She's always telling you to pray.
Okay, so
Yes.
this morning when she woke up, she was aware that it's her birthday and everything.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We asked her how old she was, and she said 100 years old.
Her granny. Tell her how old you are, Granny. How old you are?
Me?
Yes.
Before this month is 100.
That is right.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional developments, Guyana's President Irfan Ali today led a flood assessment team in communities hard hit by heavy rains across East Bank Essequibo. He assured affected residents help is on the way.
What we are facing, if you just take the camera along the water and the banks, you will see exactly what we're talking about. What you're seeing here, we have mobilized machines in emergency work all across the different conservancies and banks, trying to build the level of the bank. And let me say this, these are maybe in the future, they will be more regular because of climate change. But in the past, these were a 1 in 1,000 occurrence, this level and volume of water. So this is testing all our capability. I must say that the NDIA, led by Minister Zulfikar, the Sea Defenses people, they're all out 24 hours. And this requires understanding and patience from all stakeholders too. We understand the complications for farmers and so on. Right now we're at the stage where the government is focusing on securing livelihood, securing life and asset, and ensuring that we have robust response from the health system.
Further afield, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says Canada is set to receive over 2 million doses of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine every week until the end of August, in addition to shipments from other vaccine manufacturers. This, he says, will push the country towards achieving herd immunity and a return to normalcy.
Following our shipments this month, that means more than 9 million doses arriving in July and another 9.1 million in August. Given the demand for these vaccines, we've also negotiated an option for 3 million more Pfizer doses to be delivered in September. We'll keep getting shipments secured until everyone can get their shots. But at the pace we're going, that target is well within reach. 65% of eligible Canadians have now received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. That makes Canada the G20 country with the highest percentage of the population with a first shot. That is really encouraging. Because the more people are vaccinated, the safer we all are, and the closer we all get to being through this crisis.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.